should we tell our first period stories?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that needs to be said.
I feel like that's like a given for a girl talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if y'all were like this, but like when I was younger, I always used to like watch girl talk videos and like try to prep myself.
Yeah.
Yes, I loved watching that.
It was so like fun to watch.
I know, I was like, whoa.
I don't know, it's so like weird now that we can do that.
Yeah, and it's
for
like
you
we're all
guys.
like grown up, and I mean, I'm not.
You're not really.
I'm not
She
really-
in a sauna.
Yeah, I'm not.
She's sitting on a couple pillows in there to make sure she's tall enough through the sauna.
I've had a good posture this whole episode, so at least be proud of that.
I am. I'm very proud of that.
Thank you.
For those of you who like don't know, Harper typically sits like this. So like
I
this
sit
is
really
like,
bad. I sit very hunched, but yeah. So you start off with your first period story.
Okay, I feel like I got mine like later than all of my other friends, or at least everyone lied about it.
Yeah,
Because
what?
I feel like so many
that is
people.
a big thing.
I
People
lied
lying
about it.
I did too.
Because
Why?
Because everyone around me was like getting it, and then I had a couple of friends that like literally would make fun of you for not having it.
Yeah.
And it was like they make you.
My thing was all my friends weren't getting it and I got it. And I was like embarrassed. by
Oh,
having
so like
it.
you lied the opposite way. Oh, I lied. I was like going around saying I got it, and I like definitely did not because everyone
I got
had
it,
it
guys.
or said they did. I wonder how many of those girls were lying now. But like I remember in 7th grade, I was like the last of my friends supposedly that had not gotten it.
That's
and like
weird.
I remember I would like literally keep a mental note in my head of like what week I was
In
should've.
7th grade?
In 7th grade.
Oh.
Because everyone was like getting it.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I didn't actually get mine until like the week before 8th grade. And I was like back to school shopping with my mom for clothes, and like I just came home and so I started. Like I didn't have like some like horror story
Oh,
or
you weren't at
anything.
school or anything.
No, I was out shopping, but like when I got home it was like, oh, and I like honestly wasn't sure. And I remember I had like taken some of my mom's pads and like hid them in my room for in case I did. And like, yeah, I was like, well, I don't know if I did or not. So then I just like used a pad, and then like later I was like, oh yeah, I definitely did.
Yeah.
I was like scared to tell my mom, so the first day like I didn't tell her, and then the next day I told her.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, I didn't even actually tell her. I just went to the grocery store with her, and I went and like when we were shopping, I just grabbed a box of pads and like threw it in the cart, and she was like looked at me, she's like, did you start? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay. I grabbed like the worst ones too.
What were
they?
they?
Were like the huge like overnight diaper ones that like no 13-year-old girl needs.
No.
Like it was so bad.
Harper,
But
don't answer on this.
she would have got me like the little like always teen ones.
Yeah.
Harper, don't
Harper!
answer. Don't answer a call on the pod.
Who's it?
It's on speaker.
Oh my gosh.
Does she know it's on speaker?
Yes, I would love that.
Harper. She's like making plans for tomorrow mid-episode.
Okay, I'll call you after the podcast.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Can we
Do you want to
resume?
tell your first story?
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable
Oh yeah.
talking about that?
I feel very comfortable. No, I literally it happened like a month ago, so I'm pretty new.
That's not true.
Not like a month ago, like 3 months
It's
ago.
like beginning
yeah.
of summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was very like scary. I was in school. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared.
I don't think I know this story.
What?
Oh, sorry, continue.
So I was in school. We were having our Avid mentors or whatever, and I asked to go to the restroom. And I was like, I just want to go to the restroom to go. Like, just
You
like,
didn't even
walk
have to
around.
go?
Yeah, I didn't have to go. So I was like, wanted to walk around, and like, literally all my friends have had this, like, had their periods and stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Because you got yours pretty late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my mom did too. My mom got hers end of 9th grade. So
Yeah.
we were like kind of the same. But what's it called? I literally got it, and I was like peeing because I didn't know what else to do. So I was like peeing in the restroom.
As one does when you go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and then I like wiped and I was like, what the heck? And then I looked down in the toilet. There's like little blood droplets. I was like,
Okay, we don't need
no,
to.
it's fine. It's fine. No, there's like blood droplets. Like I was like, what the heck? What the heck's going on? So I called my mom, or I went to my teacher, and I don't know why, but I was crying.
Oh,
I was
it
so
is. It's like terrifying.
I was crying. 'cause
It's really like an adrenaline rush the first time.
I was like, what the heck? And so I went up to my teacher and I said, can I have my phone to call my mom? And she was like, yeah, is everything all right? She's like, I was like, I started my period for the first time ever. And then she was like, oh yeah, go get your phone. Cause like my teacher was very like strict about phones and stuff. So I had to tell her like the truth. And then, yeah, it was that's my first story. But I also have another story about me using a tampon for the first time. It was so scary.
Tell it.
Okay. At the lake house, my lake house, I was so scared. I was like, oh my gosh, no way.
Yeah.
Because I got my period, and I was like, oh my gosh, guys, I got my period. I was so scared. And I was like, no way. And
Harper. No, we can cut that.
Might just bleep that one out.
Yeah, we'll cut that.
No, but like it was so scary, and my friends were like, "Yeah, just do like this," and I was like, "Okay,"
Yeah.
and it hurt real bad.
It does. It's not supposed to hurt, but it's
shouldn't
like
hurt.
when you are trying it for the first time, you just like don't really know how to. So it's like
so scary.
it's a little uncomfortable.
If you put it in right, you shouldn't even
it shouldn't.
feel it.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel it, but it will. I mean, obviously, it'll be uncomfortable like the first time.
Yeah,
But it shouldn't necessarily hurt.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, next time I try one, if I'm on the lake, then
I know it is kind of hard when like
Yeah.
you first get it and like you start going swimming and stuff because like
no.
you're supposed like you can't wear a pad when you're swimming and
That'd be
stuff.
kind of gross.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
So since you were at school, did you have stuff with you, or like were you prepared for?
I wasn't prepared at all. Like I was like,
Did mom
oh my
pick
gosh.
you up?
No, mom didn't pick me up. She was in Dallas. And I asked my friends, I said, "Hi, do y'all have like a pad?" They're like, "Oh, I only have tampons. You can use a tampon." I was like, "Oh, what?" So I just ended up using toilet paper. And then I got home.
The whole day.
Yeah. But it was not a heavy
It was
swallow at all.
your third period, so
My third
no,
period
like your
class.
third period.
Yeah.
class.
Uh-huh. So yeah, that
It
was
was towards the end of the day.
yeah.
Wow.
about you, Reese?
Yeah. What about you?
My first time, I was at a sleepover with
I
my
remember
two
it.
friends.
Oh my gosh! It's like the video they show us.
I know.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? The girl like is at a sleepover
And she like gets it. She's like, "Oh."
and like the mom comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't that very traumatic. It was just like a little
Yeah.
bit, and my friends just gave me a pad.
Yeah. I know. I feel like.
And it was 7th grade summer.
I remember it.
I know. I feel like there's so many like horror stories, but like I don't have any like super scary ones. But yeah.
One time I was wearing light blue shorts at school and I bled through really bad.
Oh.
What'd you do?
I had to go home.
Yeah.
And one time my pink sweatpants, that was bad too. And I just had
Oh,
to
one
Yeah.
time in Costa Rica, she bled through her bathing
Oh,
suit and it
I
went
bled
down
through
her
my-
leg.
No, I bled through. We were on
really
like
bad.
a boat excursion.
It was so
Yeah.
funny.
And
though.
my period's really, really heavy, like on like the heavy days. And
Yeah.
like I still put in like a Super Plus tampon or whatever, and it bled through so bad. And I was wearing this like white bathing suit with blue flowers on it, and it bled all through there. It was
Yeah.
all over the seat.
it was terrible. Oh my
It
gosh.
is like
It was really
so
bad.
bad.
I know when you like sometimes you get it and you're like not expecting it and it's just like well
Yeah.
that
And my
sucks.
uncle was there too, and
Okay.
it was just so awkward for everybody. They're like, "What?"
I feel like even like grown men don't know like what to do in the moment. It
Yes.
is just like awkward for because like when you're like the girl, especially like a young girl in the situation, it's like oh
yeah, and I didn't know what
But-
to do. I was like,
Yeah.
what's going on? But yeah. And then you can't get your period, right?
How much time do we have?
we have a minute, we're good,
Okay.
we'll keep going.
No, yeah. So whenever I turned 16, I think that's like sophomore, almost junior year. No, I think it was sophomore year of high school. I still hadn't had it, and I was
Yeah.
kind of worried. And I was
Yeah.
like,
What the
Mom,
heck?
all of my friends have
Yeah.
had their period. And
They do say like if you're 16 and you haven't started yet is when you should go.
yeah, yeah. And I was playing like 4 different sports. I was outside all
Yeah.
the time. So my mom wasn't worried at all. She was
Yeah.
like, oh, like it's just a normal thing. Like
Yeah.
typically athletes will either not start till later in life, or if they do, it's like so little, like they don't even notice it.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I need to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to. So we went to the doctor, and I just sat down and like had a little consultation with the doctor. We talked through like what I did have happen, what I didn't have happen, and what I was experiencing. And then she gave me some medicine, kind of like birth control, but it was more so to like start my hormones, kind of, I guess,
Yeah, like
what
hormone
you had.
Is
yeah.
it? It's probably something similar to like what I have to take now too.
To get your
because like I
hormones
don't
right,
have
yeah.
like my body isn't producing like the hormone right now.
Yeah.
So like I have to like take it each month to like get the hormone that
Ovulate.
starts your cycle.
Yeah. So I learned so much about hormones. I don't remember
Yeah.
any of it, but there's all kinds of different hormones apparently.
Yeah.
Because I was obviously becoming a woman in every other way
Yeah.
except for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there was a specific type of pill and hormone that she had to give me to like start the reproductive system.
Yeah.
And so I took those for about a month and went back, and she was like, it didn't seem to work.
Yeah.
So we took ultrasounds and stuff and realized that I was born without a uterus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously if you don't have a uterus,
You can't
Yeah.
have a
there's
period.
no way
Yeah.
to have a period. So no, I lucked out, I guess, on that one.
Yeah.
It's bittersweet, I guess you could say. There's
Yeah.
pros and cons.
I know. I feel
But-
like I don't know. I feel like for every girl like growing up, you just like it's like such a big moment that you're
Yeah.
like expecting. And then you get it and it's like, well, this isn't as fun as you thought it would be.
Yes,
Like,
for
Yeah.
sure.
but I mean, I could also see how, like, it was just, like, a confusing and weird.
It's like, what?
It was confusing and
Like-
weird, and I was kind of in the boat that you were of. I wanted to have it because I was like, that makes me normal. That'll make me more like everybody else.
Yes.
And whenever I found out, oh, like you can't have it, it was kind of like I don't have to deal with that. But then it was also like oh, well, I'm not the same as everybody. Maybe I'm weird or like this and this is wrong with me, and I'm gonna have to deal with that in the future. But overall, like blessing in disguise for sure.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now I know that like I want to adopt children one day, and I might not have known that if I would have had my period and been able to have children like everybody else. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I'm happy that you've, like, made peace with it.
yeah, for real. Like, actually, like, and also, like, either way, like, even if you don't have your own kid, like, you can always adopt and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just, like, I don't know. Like, there's so many different ways to
Yeah.
all that. And
For
then
sure.
also, like, without a uterus, your stomach is definitely flat, too. So yeah, that's what I've always wanted. I've always wanted, like, no uterus so my stomach can be perfectly flat.
That's,
but-
like, another thing I was unprepared for was, like, your uterus literally does stick out.
It's terrible.
And, like, no one tells you about that. And then you're just like, why do I just have, like, a little bit of fat on, like, the bottom part of my stomach that won't go away? And then one day you just learn it's not fat. It's literally just, like, an organ sticking out.
Yeah. It's,
And, like, I mean, it's so, I feel like for me, it's so obvious. Like, when I stand up, I'm like, oh,
that's
there she is.
Yeah.
There she is.
There she is.
But it's also, like, I feel like,
Welcome back, friend.
yeah, I know. It's, well, some days I wake up and I'm, like, bloated enough that, like, it covers it.
Yeah.
And then some days I'm, like, not bloated at all. And it's just like, well, that's that.
Yeah.